This transformation is brought to you by Jobber.
I've been taken advantage of, not once, but twice. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't sure if I could keep doing this. Because how do I know who really needs the help? How do I tell the difference between someone who can't do it and someone who just won't? That question has been weighing on me. But then I thought, no, we can't have that here. I can't let a couple bad apples ruin it for everyone else. There are still people out there who truly need the help. And if I quit because of a scam, they're the ones who are gonna lose out.
So today we're gonna mow this yard instead. I have made up my mind. I'm not gonna stop helping others, but I am gonna stop letting myself be used.
That shift didn't happen overnight. It started with a sidewalk and what it taught me about knowing my worth and protecting my most valuable asset. The first time I saw the sidewalk, I wasn't even planning to stop. I was just driving by on a hot and humid day. It had just finished raining the night before, and there it was. This stretch of sidewalk completely swallowed by tall grass. It was that kind of overgrowth that says this hasn't been touched in months. Grass burrs, debris, and tall weeds overtaking the edge. It just looked forgotten. So I pull over. I knock on the door, and that's when I meet Evelyn. She opens the door, and the first thing I see is this little woman, 70s, maybe older, leaning heavy on a walker. Not a fancy walker either. You know, the kind with the bright yellow tennis balls on the feet. She moves slow, careful, and I immediately think, okay, I get it. There's no way she can mow this. Even trimming by this busy road would be dangerous for her. She's a little surprised, like she doesn't expect anyone to show up offering help. I mean, she didn't ask for it. I offered. Don't worry, I tell her. I got this, no charge. And you should have seen her face. She lit up like some weight she'd been carrying around finally slid off her shoulders. I told her we'd take care of it, and we did. The grass was cut, edges clean, and the sidewalk exposed like it had been waiting for someone to remember it was there. I left feeling like I did something good, and that's why I do this. Because sometimes people really can't do it for themselves, and if I have the tools and the time, why not? Months go by. The season turns, and it's late fall now, and I'm in the area again. I drive by the same sidewalk, and yeah, it's overgrown again. But now, it's even worse. Dormant grass is full of burrs, and it's even got them growing out from under the fence. Like it's been left untouched since the last time we were there. So, I stop again. I knock, and Evelyn comes to the door. She's bundled up this time, still using that same walker. Still soft-spoken and sweet, and when I tell her we're here to clean it again, her face lights up just like the first time. She thanks me over and over, and so we do it again. We cut, trim, edge, and get it back to clean. This time, I even tell her, that should last you through the winter. She nods and says, bless you. You're such a help. And I drive away thinking, this is what it's about. But as I pull back into the main road, something stuck with me. We've done this twice now, and part of me started to wonder, was this help or was it becoming a habit? Not for me, but for them. I didn't say it out loud, but in the back of my mind, I started to question whether this was about need anymore, or if it was starting to feel like an expectation. Now, spring comes and the air smells different. It has my favorite mix of fresh cut grass and sun-warmed soil. I'm working a job nearby and I figure, let me swing by Evelyn's just to see. But first, I take a quick lunch break, pull into a shady spot and crank the AC. Now I'm sitting there with a sandwich in one hand, phone in the other, sending invoices, collecting payments, and getting paid. With Jobber, it's as easy as send, swipe, and you're paid. No more waiting on checks, no more digging in the glove box after driving to the bank. No more chasing what's already been earned. It actually saves me time, keeps me moving, and lets me run my business like a pro. If you want to try it out yourself, there's a free 2-week trial down in the description. I finish up my lunch and head back out to Evelyn's. I turn the corner, and there it is again. Same overgrowth, same grass burrs, and somehow it's even worse than the previous 2 times we've been there. Something in me hesitates because if we cleaned it in the fall and it's early spring now, that means no one's touched it in months. So I decide to knock again just to check in, see if Evelyn's doing okay. But this time a man opens the door. Mid-40s, fit, he's actually strong looking, kind of makes me look bad. So now I'm confused. I ask if Evelyn's here, and he says, yeah, she lives here with me. I'm her son. I glance at the yard. It's freshly cut, edged. Even the hedges look squared up. It's so tidy, I almost second-guess myself. So I gesture towards the fence, trying to keep my tone light. I was just wondering, The front yard looks great, but the sidewalk out there? Does anyone take care of that?" And he looks where I'm pointing and shrugs. "Yeah, we don't really mess with that part. It gets bad, but someone always shows up and does it for free." That's when I freeze. I wait for a thank you, a sheepish smile, or even just a laugh. But he doesn't flinch, doesn't shift, just stands there like it's normal, like I'm right on schedule. Because I know exactly who someone is. It's me. He's not embarrassed, not apologetic, just casual. Like this is normal. Like it's my job to take care of his stuff. That's when everything clicks. All this time, I thought I was helping Evelyn, but I was actually helping a grown man who just didn't want to bother. Because why mow that strip of sidewalk when the free lawn guy always shows up? I head back to the truck, heat rising in my chest. It's not rising from the sun or even a heartburn from lunch, but from the realization that this wasn't a need. It was an expectation, entitlement. And the worst part, not even a thank you or a nod, just someone always shows up. And that someone was me. And he didn't just take my labor, he took my time. Time I could have spent with my family, time I could have spent helping someone who genuinely needed it. He didn't rob my wallet, he robbed my purpose. And that stings more than anything. So I had to sit with that for a while because I didn't want it to turn me bitter. Didn't want one guy's laziness to make me stop helping people who genuinely need a hand. But I also knew I had to change something because if I keep showing up for people like that, I'm not helping anyone. I'm enabling. I'm not lifting someone up. I'm letting someone lean on me who's perfectly capable of standing on their own. So I made a decision. I'm not cleaning that sidewalk again. Not unless someone else reaches out and actually asks. Not unless I know it's coming from need and not just convenience. And that brings me back to today, to this yard right here. Because this one's different. This yard belongs to someone who really needed it done. They reached out and they asked for help. They weren't waiting on the free lawn guy to magically appear. They just needed a hand, and I am more than happy to give it. Because yeah, I got scammed. And yeah, it still hurts, but that won't stop me. It'll just make me more careful. I'm still gonna show up, still gonna help the people who can't do it themselves. But now I ask questions. Now I listen closer. Now I look for who really needs the help. Because kindness isn't about saying yes to everyone. It's about knowing when to say yes and when to walk away. That's what that sidewalk taught me. So today, we cleaned this yard because this one's for someone who actually needed it, and that's what I signed up for when I started this channel.